Hey members, this is me from outside. Where else, right? And the weather is changing and shifting, which is part of what I wanted to talk to you about today. I just made a video out here about change. Now, this being for you that are already here, it's going to be a little different what I want to talk about. And I want to direct a couple of things that I know that you've been asking me about as well. So first of all, you being here has shown me, and watch the other video, that changing is not longer your biggest obstacle to get well. Because for most people, taking the leap that you have been doing towards change, towards changing your diet, I mean, most people cannot even do that. So I honor you for doing that and for being here. Because just by doing that, everything else will change. It cannot not. Okay? What I still see the fear about is this. We tend to hold on to our old belief around the body and symptoms, even after we change. And I remember that with myself. It is hard to stop searching and seeking and looking for faults and tests and everything in between, right? Because there's so much information out there and there's so much to learn, and some things are a part of the learning process and other things are more us wanting and needing validation on a regular basis, even when we're pretty sure we're doing what's right, or even when we believe the people in front of you, us, we tend to search and look for validation, for research, because it's so imprinted in us that that's necessary. Okay? Now, this doesn't mean that what you're doing is not working, or it doesn't have to be that who you're, have gotten, taught by, because we're all teachable, and we should be teachable. We're all learnable, and we should be learnable. We just didn't follow anyone in that sense, blindly. But the thing is, as long as we're still searching on the outside. And it shows me that we have to step back and start trusting ourselves even more. Not telling ourselves we know everything, because obviously we don't. None of us do. But by trusting our intuition and the reason that we're here, the reason and the why that we started, the direction that we started, to revisit that instead of keeping searching. Because I see, and this is the truth, and this is just between us, I see a lot of people, even after having had a consult with me or anyone else, or having taken the big leap towards healing, invested a lot of time and money, they spend hours every day still searching for remedy, asking maybe 10 people every day, what can I do? What can I do? And that's grounded in the very deep fear that we're not good enough, that we can't do this, or that we're not worth it. And I've been talking about not only the resistance, but the way that we sabotage ourselves. So watch the self-sabotage video. Again, if you feel that this is a little bit you, that you're still searching in the sense that being uncertain that what you're doing is right. Because once you start something, and once you start walking towards that health, you have to realize one thing. Every old thought, every old emotion is going to come up and play a trick on you. Even the parasites are going to play a trick on you. So be grounded in yourself before you start walking, and revisit yourself daily as to why you chose this, why you have a strong feeling this is right for you, so that this fear is no longer, clogging your judgment or taking away a lot of time and energy from you, because it's a time and energy sucker. It's like it's like an old, separate parasite. So that being said, since I was talking about fear today, now you're already here, and we've been talking about, different remedy. We've been doing different challenges. I got one question from Strong Faith. Hi, I see you're here. And I'm sorry that these videos are, being made at this hour because we have a time difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it and then I'm going to post it on the membership site after, so that even if you're a new member when this is made, you can still go in and see it. And if you want to see it again or you want to see it another day, you can do that too. But I was asked about radiation, and I'm not sure if the question was radiation as far as, an accident, like radioactive type of thing, or you're talking more about the medical type of radiation through x-rays and those type of regimes. Either way, sort of, but not. Well, the most known components into detoxing any form of radiation really is iodine. And we're looking at the kelp and the seaweed in that manner. There are, of course, herbal blends, and Dr. Robert Morse has a blend called, I think, Heavy Metal Detox, which would be good for the radiation. The radiation has a tendency to go towards the thyroid. So this is why a lot of people have gotten, goiters and into trouble in parts of the world where there have been radiation or nuclear accidents. What they used to do even back in the days, and do you know that when you look back just 150 years, people knew more what to do because the big pharma hadn't taken over, trying to put their labels on everything, restricting, redirecting people towards the medications instead of the natural remedies. People were always using iodine, and they were even having iodine pills, tablets, laying in every city in case anything happened. They could give it to everyone. Now, today there's a lot of talk about the iodine and the ocean being polluted with mercury and metals and a lot of acidity. And I just heard someone have a really good talk about this, actually, just a couple of weeks ago. And this person, this is like my third person, because I couldn't know this for sure, but the person were very clear that the kelp and the other seaweeds taken from the ocean had such a strong pulling, and not only that, but grabbing potential. Like they would literally collect the radiation from within us and the mercury, the heavy metals, in such a large scale that even if they themselves were polluted, they would still do more good than harm, much more, because they would take out more than they could ever leave behind, because they were like sponges. And this person even went to the extent of saying that they couldn't leave anything behind just because they were such huge grabbers. Okay, so that's the seaweed. Now, when I talk about the seaweed, I'm always, enthusiastic because I've been using a lot of seaweed myself. So here's another tip for you. If you ever look outside of the fruit world, it is much more potent for you to look to the sea vegetable than any other vegetable that has been grown on a farm that you can't find in nature. Well, dandelion and a lot of the greens in nature, they're more like vegetables too. They're herbs, but they're leafy greens, and you can eat a lot of them. So I'm not talking about that because I'm all about the wild. I'm talking about going to the sea also for the wild. And the edible seaweeds are very easy and good for human body to digest. They're very packed with minerals. They're very packed with a lot of components that are strengthening the human body, especially at a point where you have or might have been detoxing for a long time and you need some extra strength, or you have been excessively thin for a long time and you feel it's time to recuperate, it's time to sit back, it's time to build up a little bit before you hit it again, and that is totally okay. Okay, if you're one that is following this, you're in here with us and you feel like you just need to catch your breath now and then, go to the green juices and some seaweed. Do that just for a couple of weeks, or add it. You don't have, just don't leave the fruit, but add it. And then once you take it away, you'll notice you can go much deeper into detoxification, but you've given your body that extra strength so that it has more to give, because detoxing takes strength. Of course it does, and especially for us and a lot of you that have to do this for years. And yes, that is it. You can go and embark on this journey, but realize this: we weren't made sick overnight. We weren't made sick yesterday. No, sadly. This takes years. It takes sometimes generations. See, the sun is coming out. Change. So sometimes I'm prone to say this. People come to me with a degenerative type of what they call disease, you know? Something that's gotten the label, something that they want you to take meds for, something that they label as chronic or autoimmune, whatever. And Hilde, how long does it take? How long does it take? I'm willing to do everything. I'm going to change. How long does it take? Well, how about 5 years or 7 years? Maybe. We don't know. All we know is that we have that time because we're worth it. And it's going to take time. And if you're in here for the first month or the first 3 months or even the first 6 months, you're just dipping your toe into this, you know? And you notice it takes time just to get there, to find this stable energy about doing this. Because it takes so much change. You might have come from the sad diet, jumping right into this. We have members in here that just dive right in. And it amazes me, and they're fantastic, and they will get there, you know, in the speed that's much higher than those that choose to transform slower. That is a given, and there's a difference. If you're really sick and have been labeled the C word or something that has taken away your whole ability to enjoy your life. If you're in bed, if you're sitting down and you can't get up, if you're not able to do what you love, then you need to step it up, you know? And if you've lived longer than 20 years, you really need to step it up because it takes time to reverse all that damage. It's not done overnight. The body couldn't handle it being done overnight. It'd be too much, you know, toxicity. It'd be too much toxins right into our lymphatic system. And we know that the kidneys are the key here, you know, and to get to the kidneys, we need to include the adrenals, of course, but just to get those kidneys to open. And this is why we're doing the kidney filtration challenge, which I am so excited about because I really want to see what only 1 week of diligence can do. Because a lot of us, we do stuff and we go on and we go a little bit off, and then we're used to this comfort. And we get scared from detoxification symptoms. But if you just do 1 week like this, I mean, really diligent, and follow that outline to the T, I'm so eager to see just what that will do to you. Because if that changes how you filter your kidneys, then you've got your golden key. Now you've got your own tool that you can use how often or how seldom as you like. You can always revisit that. You know? That is a regime that anyone facing serious, what they call disease, should be on for months. And no, we are not going to lose our nutrients, our minerals, from going even 5 or 6 months on one fruit alone. That is another big misconception that I see all the time, even from those that have been here for a while. And even maybe you're still there if you have chosen to, you know, go towards the raw. You're working towards all fruit. You're not there yet, but you still have this pulling to the fear that you're not going to get everything that you need in your diet. Let me tell you something. And I don't know everything. Nobody does. But let me tell you something. I started out being raw on a very high fat, no fruit diet because I was scared shitless by some of the gurus out there. Dr. Robert Young being one of them. I was told by so many of them, even the Hippocrates, and I don't ever talk about this, because it's not what I do. I speak about health, right? But just to give you, you know, the real truth. I was told personally by both of them that if I ever ate fruit at all, I would not only never get well, I would literally kill myself. And that was a hard one to go out of. I had been spending at least 3.5 years on greens only. Was I getting better from a sad diet, from medications, alcohol, and cigarettes? Yes, I was. Much better? Not really. I was getting better, but I was also doing a lot of parasite cleansing and liver flushes. I mean, I was at this 24/7, and I was educating myself at least 16 hours a day. For 10 years almost, I've been doing that. But I never spoke or speak about, except for the seaweed today with the radiation. I always tell you then, mostly it's always from experience. So here I am, after 3.5, almost 4 years on raw food, and I start putting some berries into my smoothie, and I almost freak out of fear. I was so afraid that I was hurting myself. Nobody had ever told me about being a primate. The thing about following, I wasn't listening. Then I found Dr. Robert Morse, and then I found more people, and I started implementing, and I started changing, and I started realizing, oh my God. Once I went to the fruit world and dropped the fat, everything changed. Of course, I added the herbs. And of course, it still took years, it still took time. And it took more than just the diet. But the diet is the catalyst. That is what's going to get you to changing everything else. Okay? It's raising your vibration. And that's what we want. So that's all it's about. It's about happiness. It's about feeling happy. High vibration. It's not really about the body when we want to heal. It's about that high vibration, right? And we feel that being healthy will take us there. Well, in a sense it will. It goes together. So I'm adding those berries, and I'm adding more and more fruit, and I'm leaving the fat, and things are starting to change. Now, for a long while, for years, several years, a couple of years at least, I think, I was doing the fruits during the day and a salad at night. And I did a lot of green juices together. Well, actually, I did most of green juices because I couldn't stomach any fruit juice. I always thought that the apple juice was just messing with my blood sugar. And then if I tried any citrus, my stomach would burn. I was so acidic. I would hurt in my stomach from oranges. By even having one orange in my green juice, I would hurt. Now, as time went by, without me changing anything as far as what I wanted to do with my diet, I just followed the flow. And today, step by step, I just don't eat the greens anymore. I just don't juice anything but citruses. That's what I drink. I don't drink water. I might have a little bit of water in my tinctures, together with my tinctures. That's it. And I never stopped drinking water. I just followed my own path. I just followed my inner calling that always says, show me the way. Thank you for this healing. And how can I serve? I just follow the direction that is put in front of me, and the ability for me to live that empowerment. Not following anything but myself. Spending time in love and gratitude instead of research and in constant wonder, because there's no way that we are going to understand this creation. There's no way that we are going to understand the body or nutrition or food for that matter. But we're not supposed to. Look into the animal world. There are no animals sitting around, I'm sure, discussing what they're going to eat. They know very well what they're going to eat. Our diet is species specific. We made it into something else. Probably from migrating and running off from the tropics and having to kill an animal for survival or something. It makes sense. Now we can get everything anywhere. And I'm not sure that's a good thing. But it keeps a lot of us that have been grown, raised in colder climates, it gives us the ability to heal also. But of course, being in warmer climates, is going to elevate everything about your vibration. Because we love the sunshine, and we need the sunshine and the warmth. And being more outdoor. And getting connected with more of the tropical fruits. All year round, of course. So as I walked, I ended up where I am at right now. Eating only fruits, some seaweed, now and then, whenever I, want. I could chew on a cucumber. I looked back and I thought maybe that was once a month that I had half a cucumber. I don't know. Because sometimes I get this idea that I should have something. So I could go to the store with a family member and say, oh, I'm going to get the spinach for me. It's organic. It looks wonderful. I'm going to get the spinach. I bring it home. I put it in my refrigerator. And then 2 weeks later, I throw it out because there was not a moment or a day that I opened that refrigerator that spinach was actually talking to me. But see, here's the thing. That is me, my friends. And that is another, fall pit for a lot of you. You want to see and feel what I see and feel from what I have walked, right? That's why you're here. We all want to feel amazing. But see, I am at a different place than a lot of others. We're all in different places, all having to follow what's right for us at this time. This might not have been right for me 3 years ago because I was so toxic. It could have been too much without guidance, that is. Okay, once you get in on a protocol and you have an herbal protocol and someone that works with you, it's a little different because then we can tweak it and follow the symptoms, but never look towards someone else and say, what are you eating? What do you typically eat in a day for the reason that you want to follow it, okay? Not without knowing where that person is at and also knowing a lot about you. Know your weaknesses, know about your body, and you can only do that, in a couple of different ways. 1, you can work with someone, but 2, you can connect with yourself. But starting to eat fruit, a high fruit diet, can never be anything but amazing. You know why? Because we were created to eat that. It could never hurt us. But the weaknesses that we're already carrying can feel very hurtful, and if it was too overwhelming, like too straight away, and you came right from biting into that beef and those chicken wings in a massive amount, and you're very overweight, and you had the liquor bottle in one hand and the cigarettes in the other, I probably wouldn't say drop everything and go 100% fruit and all oranges and grapes and then just go. That would hurt. Okay? So be mindful of where you are. And this is why I'm so happy that you're here. And this is why I'm doing the challenges. And even though they will benefit some of you more than others, they're all made so that everyone can participate. It doesn't mean it doesn't matter where you are on your journey. And I'm going to show up the whole week for every challenge. So, and this is why this group was created, for you to have, be able to have a voice, for you to be able to ask direct questions about you. And it's a safe place here. We're all in this together. Every soul in here, I know where they come from. I have to add them personally, like you, into this group. These are all amazing people like you. All part of my and your and each one of yours family. This is what family is about. And a lot of us walking this path has a great need for community, feeling like we belong, feeling support, and then being able to train ourselves, to the sovereignty that I'm talking about. We can still support each other and be together and be empowered by each other and be stronger as a group and still be sovereign within ourselves, meaning not leaning, standing strong together, not leaning. Okay. So I'm going to let you go. And I hope this was, helpful. I'm going to try to do one of these every month together with the challenge every month so that we can build a strong library of stuff, things, tips, articles, handouts on the membership site, because we're building this. I want it to be a toolbox. I want you as a member to be able to browse through and go back and look at things. So this is why, the more you're sharing with me, the better. you know? And the more you're telling me your experiences, the better I can serve you, because that's what I want to do. You have committed by being here, and I am so honored that you chose that. You know, it warms my heart that you feel, you know, enough trust in not only yourself, but in me and this community. So I'm sending love to each and every one of you, you know, from my heart, because I'm so grateful and thankful, humbled and honored to be here. So be well, keep raising your vibration, keep your faith, keep your trust, you know, hang on to the truth, and know that you're so freaking worth it, because you're amazing. Namaste, my friends.